For years, the Boeing 797, or as many call it, the new mid-size airplane, has been one of the biggest mysteries in aviation. Not just another aircraft project, but possibly the most important gamble in Boeing's modern history. Because if this jet succeeds, it could change everything, and maybe even save Boeing from losing the skies to Airbus. But can it really live up to the hype? And why are airlines around the world waiting for it like a prophecy? Let's find out. Few aircraft concepts have stirred as much curiosity as the Boeing 797. It was born during one of the darkest chapters in Boeing's history. After the 737 MAX crisis, the delays of the 777X, and a wave of trust issues that nearly broke the company. And yet, in the middle of that chaos, Boeing quietly began working on something extraordinary. A jet that could rewrite the rules of air travel. This wasn't just a project, it was a message to the world. Boeing is not done yet. Nicknamed the new mid-size airplane, the 797 was designed to target the toughest market in aviation, the mid-market gap, that sweet spot between short-haul and long-haul where existing planes either fall short or fly half-empty. Here's what makes it special. It's designed to carry between 200 and 270 passengers and fly up to 5,000 nautical miles. Perfect for routes too long for a 730, yet too small for a 787. But the real innovation, it's a twin-aisle jet, something you rarely see in this range. Imagine a 2-3-2 layout, 2 aisles, more comfort, faster boarding, and a cabin that feels like a wide-body, but runs at nearly the cost of a narrow-body. That's the kind of efficiency airlines dream about to dominate the market. Boeing envisioned 2 versions. One focused on range, seating around 225 passengers and flying transatlantic or Asia-Pacific routes, carrying up to 275 passengers for dense, regional, or domestic missions. This flexibility would let airlines use the 797 in both emerging and mature markets, something even the mighty Airbus A321XLR can't quite match. And Boeing didn't stop there. The 797's cabin was inspired by the 787 Dreamliner, featuring larger windows, cleaner air, lower cabin altitude, and intelligent mood lighting. Everything about it was designed to make passengers feel better after every flight. But beyond the luxury, this aircraft represents something deeper: redemption. Because for Boeing, the 797 isn't just a plane, it's a second chance. In a world where Airbus has dominated the mid-range segment with the A321XLR, a clever evolution of the A321 Boeing took a different path. While Airbus stretched and upgraded an existing frame, Boeing went for a clean sheet design, a complete revolution rather than an adaptation, and that choice could be the key. The 797's twin-aisle configuration instantly gives it an edge in comfort, efficiency, and turnaround speed. More aisles mean faster boarding, quicker unloading, and higher revenue potential. And when it comes to technology, Boeing's aiming big, integrating next-generation engines like the CFM Rise or Rolls-Royce UltraFan, both promising up to 20% better fuel efficiency. It's even expected to run on 100% sustainable aviation fuel, giving it a head start in the green revolution. Airbus will eventually have to catch up too. But here's where things get truly interesting. The 797 isn't just the future, it's the spiritual successor to one of Boeing's greatest creations. The legendary 757, the 757, could take off from short runways, climb fast, handle extreme conditions, and even cross the Atlantic, all while staying profitable. When Boeing killed its production in 2004 without a proper replacement, airlines were furious, and Airbus took advantage. The A321neo LR and XLR filled the gap Boeing had left behind. And now, 2 decades later, the 797 is Boeing's chance to take it all back. In many ways, the 797 aims to merge the versatility of the 757 with the comfort of the 767, creating the ultimate mid-range aircraft. It's designed to fly farther than the A321XLR, up to 5,000 nautical miles, while giving passengers a wide-body experience on narrow-body costs. If it delivers on those promises, it could finally reclaim the mid-market and restore Boeing's dominance. The concept was called the new mid-size airplane, designed to fill a gap no one had truly mastered. Routes that are too long for a single-aisle aircraft, but too small for a full wide-body. Think 200 to 270 passengers, flying 4,500 to 5,000 nautical miles, perfectly bridging the gap between the 737 and 787. And here's what made it revolutionary. A twin-aisle design in a market dominated by single-aisle jets. Imagine a 232 layout, wide-body comfort, but at narrow-body operating costs. That's the balance Boeing aimed for. Comfort, efficiency, and flexibility all in one aircraft. Two main versions were planned. A long-range model seating around 225 passengers, capable of crossing the Atlantic, and a high-capacity version, carrying up to 275 passengers for dense, domestic, and regional routes. That flexibility could give airlines the perfect tool to open new routes profitably, something even the A321XLR can't fully match. Inside, Boeing wanted passengers to feel the Dreamliner DNA. Larger windows, lower cabin altitude, intelligent mood lighting, cleaner air. In short, a mid-range aircraft that doesn't feel like one. But beyond comfort, the 797 carries something deeper, a mission of redemption. Airbus, of course, hasn't been sitting still. Its A321XLR has completely dominated the mid-market by taking an evolutionary approach, stretching the A321, reinforcing the landing gear, and adding more fuel capacity. It was clever, but not revolutionary. Boeing's answer: revolution. The 797 would be a clean-sheet design from the ground up, a brand new jet built to break limits, not extend them, and the advantages are clear. First, the twin-aisle layout. Two aisles mean faster boarding and deplaning, shorter turnaround times, and higher operational efficiency. For airlines, that means more time in the air and more profit. This was more than a technical project. It was a declaration of rebirth, marking the maker's transformation from crisis to a new era of innovation and excellence, known as the new midsize airplane, or NMA for short. The 797 was conceived as the company's strategic answer to the toughest challenge in the industry: the mid-market segment. This niche demands an aircraft capable of carrying between 200 and 270 passengers, over ranges of 4,500 to 5,000 nautical miles. Ideal for point-to-point routes that are too thin for a wide-body jet, yet too long for a typical single-aisle. Boeing's engineers believe the 797 could finally fill that gap, redefining the economics of mid-range flying. The most revolutionary aspect of the 797 is its twin-aisle design, a feature rarely seen in this class. Unlike single-aisle aircraft such as the A320 or the 737, the 797 was envisioned with a 232 layout, offering the spacious comfort of a wide body yet operating at costs close to a narrow body. It is this combination, the comfort of a wide body with the efficiency of a single aisle, that gives Boeing's concept its true edge, creating a whole new category where no rival has dared to go. Notably, to dominate every corner of this market, the maker planned to main variants. A long-range version seating around 225 passengers and flying up to 5,000 nautical miles for transatlantic or Asia-Pacific missions, and a high-capacity version carrying up to 275 passengers for dense, regional, or domestic routes. This flexibility would allow the NMA to serve both emerging and mature markets alike. A capability no existing Airbus model, not even the A321XLR, can fully match. Beyond performance, Boeing infused the 797 with a premium passenger experience inspired by the 787 Dreamliner. The cabin would feature larger windows, lower cabin altitude for reduced fatigue, intelligent mood lighting, and cleaner air, redefining comfort on mid-range flights and giving travelers a reason to choose the 797 over any single-aisle alternative. Ultimately, the 797 represents far more than a new product. It embodies the spirit of revival and ambition. It is Boeing's boldest step toward reclaiming its lost prestige and reaffirming the innovation that once defined it. If it succeeds, the jetliner will not just restore the company's market share. It will stand as a testament that even in its most difficult moments, the maker can still create a masterpiece that pushes the boundaries of what flight can be. That becomes even clearer when you look at what comes next. By the way, please take a second and hit that subscribe button. We know you're going to love what's coming next. That vision quickly took form in a jet designed not to imitate, but to surpass. In an era where Airbus focused on incremental upgrades, Boeing chose revolution. In today's market, Boeing's biggest rival is without question the Airbus A321XLR Extra Long Range. The aircraft that's been dominating the mid-range segment through its strategy of incremental innovation. Airbus didn't build an entirely new jet. Instead, it simply stretched the existing A321 airframe, reinforced the landing gear, and added an extra fuel tank to reach a range of 4,700 nautical miles. It was a clever evolution, but not a revolution. The US maker, on the other hand, chose a completely different path with the 797, a clean sheet design built to redefine the segment and embody a philosophy of breakthrough rather than adaptation. The first and most visible advantage of the 797 lies in its twin-aisle wide-body design, something the A321XLR simply cannot replicate. While the A321XLR, being a narrow-bodied aircraft, offers only a single aisle in a cramped cabin on flights lasting 7 to 8 hours, the 797 delivers the comfort and spaciousness of a true wide-body experience. Two aisles allow passengers to board and deplane much faster, improving turnaround efficiency and reducing ground time. For airlines, this means not only higher operational efficiency, but also the ability to implement premium pricing strategies, maximizing revenue per flight thanks to a more comfortable passenger experience beyond comfort. The 797 also takes a decisive lead in engine and fuel efficiency technology. While the A321XLR still relies on existing Neo engines, the 797 is designed from scratch to integrate the next generation of propulsion, including concepts like the CFM Rise, Open Rotor, or Rolls-Royce Ultrafan, both promising up to 20% better fuel efficiency compared to today's best engines. This leap would eventually erase the A321XLR's initial cost advantage and give Boeing a lasting edge in an era of rising fuel prices and tightening environmental regulations. Furthermore, the NMA is expected to be fully compatible with 100% sustainable aviation fuels, a standard that the A321XLR may struggle to meet in the coming decade. However, do you know what's even crazier? The Boeing 797 has been envisioned as the rightful heir to the legendary Boeing 757, designed not only to revive its legacy, but also to overcome the limitations of its rivals. To understand why, we must first look at what made the 757 so special and how the 797 seeks to surpass it. The 757 was celebrated for its unmatched versatility, capable of taking off from short runways, crossing the Atlantic with ease, and performing efficiently at hot and high airports like Denver. When Boeing ended its production, airlines were left yearning for an aircraft that could match that level of performance. Now, with an all-new design, the 797 is set to carry on that remarkable versatility and even refine it further. Pushing beyond the limits once defined by the 757, it's something the A321XLR, still just a stretched and upgraded version of the older A320 airframe, could never truly achieve. Moreover, it promises to blend the best attributes of both the 757 and the 767. While the A321XLR can mimic the range of the 757, it falls short in comfort. The 797, in contrast, with a range of up to 5,000 nautical miles, goes even farther than the A321XLR, opening up longer and more profitable routes that were once viable only for wide-body jets. The NMA seeks to strike a perfect balance, delivering the fuel efficiency and performance of a narrow body, while offering the spacious cabin experience of a wide-body aircraft. Its twin-aisle configuration is the key that unlocks this comfort advantage, something the A321XLR simply cannot replicate due to its structural limitations. In essence, the Boeing 797 represents the ultimate evolution of the mid-range aircraft concept, the very plane airlines have been hoping for since the final 757 rolled off the production line in 2004. When you combine its premium passenger experience, 20% fuel savings, and operational flexibility, the NMA emerges as not just a competitor, but again, It represents Boeing's long-eyed opportunity to reclaim the mid-market, offering airlines a jet that's more comfortable, more efficient, and ultimately more profitable than anything Airbus has in this category. But beyond performance and technology lies something deeper, a chance for redemption. If the Boeing 797 truly represents a technological leap beyond the A321XLR, it also carries an even greater weight, a mission of redemption. For Boeing, this new mid-size airplane is far more than just another business project. It is a strategic lifeline, a test of whether the company can rebuild its reputation and reclaim its legacy after years of crisis and missteps. The first step toward redemption begins with acknowledging the past. In 2004, this maker made what many now consider its greatest mistake of the 21st century, discontinuing the iconic 757 without a successor. That single decision created a massive gap in the mid-market, one that Airbus quickly filled with the A321neo family, followed by the LR and, eventually, the XLR. The 797 is the US maker's chance to correct that historical error, to finally reclaim the territory it abandoned 2 decades ago, and to show that it has learned from its past, but the stakes are far higher than the significance of that mission.